The air was thick with tension as Marlena entered the dimly lit bar in downtown Zurich. The weight of her mission pressed on her shoulders, a mission she knew too well could change the course of history. She took a seat at the bar, her red dress contrasting sharply with the murky ambience. With every glance she threw or gesture she made, she transmitted coded signals, alerting her contacts of her arrival. In a shadowed booth, two men watched her intently. One of them, Viktor, was a seasoned MI6 operative. The other, Dmitri, was an enigma. Rumors whispered he was a double agent, but nobody could be certain. As Marlena ordered a drink, a coded message arrived on her encrypted device. "Trust no one. The Raven has flown." She instantly knew the gravity of this message. The asset, codenamed Raven, had been compromised. Dmitri approached Marlena, extending a hand to invite her to dance. She hesitated for a moment, then accepted, letting the rhythm of the music guide their whispered conversation. As they danced, Marlena could feel the eyes of every agent in the room on them. Dmitri's words were carefully chosen, weaving a dance of their own. "I know you're not here for the music," he murmured. "And I know you're not here for the company," she shot back, her eyes scanning the room for any sign of Raven. The stolen documents he possessed were worth more than gold, carrying secrets that could shift global power dynamics. Dmitri's grip tightened. "I can help you," he whispered, "but it will come at a price." Marlena, ever the skilled operative, did not miss a beat. "Name it," she replied. In the secluded corner of the bar, Viktor intercepted a transmission on his earpiece. The CIA was moving in, and they didn't intend to leave any witnesses. He knew he had to warn Marlena. The dance ended, and Dmitri handed Marlena a small envelope. "This will lead you to Raven," he said, his voice barely audible. But before she could respond, the lights in the bar went out, plunging everything into darkness. Panic ensued in the pitch-black room. The distant sound of a suppressed gunshot rang out, followed by muffled screams and hurried footsteps. Marlena, trained for such situations, slipped on her night vision goggles and quickly assessed the chaos. Dmitri had vanished, but the envelope remained clutched in her hand. She could see Viktor signaling her from the exit. The two of them needed to escape before the CIA agents flooded the premises. Darting through the bar, avoiding panicking patrons and fallen bodies, Marlena reached Viktor. He whispered, "We have a safe house nearby. Follow me." The duo emerged into the cold Zurich night, their breaths visible in the freezing air. Every shadow and alley seemed to harbor potential threats as they navigated the labyrinthine streets, evading pursuers. Once at the safe house, Marlena opened the envelope. Inside was a chess piece, a black rook, and an address scribbled hastily. "The old abandoned chess club," Viktor murmured, recognizing the location. The chess club was notorious in espionage circles, an underground location where spies from both sides would gather, playing seemingly innocent games, but each move conveying hidden messages. Marlena and Viktor, armed and on high alert, approached the club's entrance. They were met by an old custodian who, without a word, ushered them inside. The club was a vast, echoing space, filled with chess tables. At the far end sat Raven, engrossed in a game. Surrounding him were agents from multiple intelligence agencies, each vying to obtain the stolen documents. As Marlena approached, Raven glanced up, a smirk playing on his lips. "Took you long enough," he taunted, sliding an envelope across the table. The very same documents that had set this entire chain of events in motion. Suddenly, the room's atmosphere shifted. Agents drew their weapons, eyes darting suspiciously. A standoff was imminent. The silence was palpable, broken only by the occasional scrape of a chess piece moving across a board. Marlena's training kicked in as she scanned the room, mentally noting exit points, potential threats, and allies. She whispered to Viktor, "We need a distraction." As if on cue, the old custodian began loudly berating a younger agent, creating a commotion near the entrance. Everyone's attention momentarily shifted, allowing Marlena and Viktor to dive behind a nearby table, using it as a makeshift barrier. With a sudden surge of adrenaline, Marlena reached into her coat pocket, pulling out a small smoke grenade. Tossing it into the center of the room, A thick fog instantly filled the space, disorienting the agents. Chaos ensued. The cacophony of gunfire, shouts, and the pounding of boots on wooden floors echoed throughout the club. Through the haze, Marlena spotted Raven making his escape. "Not this time," she muttered, dashing after him. Outside, the Zurich night provided perfect cover as Marlena finally cornered Raven in an alley. The two faced off, years of rivalry and unspoken tension between them. It was a standoff, one where only one could emerge victorious.